Good morning, dear children. Let me continue the lesson motion. Okay? In last classes we have discussed about various physical quantities such as distance, displacement, then speed, velocity and then acceleration. Okay? And today's class we are going to discuss about the graphical representation of motion. Okay? Graphical representation of motion. How the motion of an object can be represented by using a graph. Okay? Then all of you know about graph. In maths classes you are used to draw graph. Okay? What is meant by graph? And what is a graph actually? It is the pictorial representation of variation of two physical quantities. Okay? A graph is a pictorial representation of variation of two physical quantities, and the varying quantities are actually called here variables. The varying quantities are called variables. Okay, and here we have two variables. One is called the dependent variable and another is called the independent variable. Okay, we have two variables here. One is called the dependent variable and another is the independent variable. Okay, then for drawing a graph we need two axes. Okay, how we can draw a graph? Okay, and for drawing a graph we need two axes, one horizontal axis and one vertical axis. Okay, one horizontal axis and one vertical axis, and these two are perpendicular. Okay, and this horizontal axis is called the x-axis and the vertical axis is called the y-axis. The horizontal axis is called the x-axis and the vertical axis is called the y-axis. Okay, and these two axes meet at a point that is actually called the origin. Okay, the x-axis and the y-axis meet at a point. That point is called the origin. Okay, and here how we can represent the variables. Okay, here the independent variable that is always represented along the x-axis. The independent variable is represented along the x-axis and the dependent variable is represented along the y-axis. Okay, listen it. Here the independent variable is always represented along the x-axis and the dependent variable is represented along the y-axis. Okay, all of this in cricket match there we can draw a graph. Okay, we can see graph between the number of runs scored and the number of overs. Okay, and here the in cricket match the number of scores, number of runs scored, that is represented along the y-axis, and the number of overs that is represented along the x-axis, because the number of overs that is the independent one and the number of runs scored actually that depends upon the number of overs, so it is the dependent one that is represented along the y-axis. Okay, and here the motion of an object can be represented using graph. We know there are different types of graph there, line graph there, then bar diagrams there and pie chart there. Okay, and for representing the motion of an object we can use line graphs. Okay, for representing the motion of an object we can use line graph. Okay, using line graph we can represent the motion of an object. Okay, and there are different types of graph here. The first is the distance time graph. Distance time graph, and the second is the velocity time graph. Here we have two types of graph for representing the motion of an object. That is the distance time graph and second is the velocity time graph. Okay, and let's see the distance time graph. Okay, then what is meant by distance time graph? Actually, it represents the variation of distance of a moving object with the time. Okay, actually distance time graph is the variation of distance or the position of an object with the time. Okay, and this distance time graph can be represented or can be studied under different situations. Okay, the distance time graph can be studied under different conditions. The first is for an object at a rest. Okay, for an object is at a rest. Then how we can draw the distance time graph for an object at a rest? Okay, already we studied for drawing a graph we need two axes. So we can draw the two axes. That is, one is the x-axis and another is the y-axis. Okay, and when we consider distance and time, which is the dependent one and which is the independent one, and here the time is the independent one. So it is represented along the x-axis. We can represent time in seconds. Okay, and here the distance, that depends on the time, that is represented along the x-axis. Distance in meter. Okay, that is represented along the y-axis. Okay, then here we are going to draw the distance time graph for an object at rest. For that we are considering, and here O is the origin. From the origin we can consider a position, that is from origin actually it is 10 meters. Suppose for example it is 10 meter away from the origin. Okay, and here we can represent the time as here 2 seconds, then 4 seconds, then 6 seconds and then 8 seconds. Okay, see here the object is 10 meter from the origin. Okay, also it is at a rest. Then after, in 2 seconds its position remain there itself, and 4 seconds also does not change its position. Okay, in 6 seconds also here, and in 8 seconds also it remains to be at 10 meter from the origin. Then we can connect all these points by a line. Okay, actually this is the distance time graph for an object at rest. Okay, that means it does not change its position as time passes. Then what is the nature of this distance time graph? Actually it is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, what is the nature of distance time graph for an object at rest? It is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, it is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, that is about the distance time graph for an object at rest. Okay, and the second is distance time graph for an object moving with a uniform speed. Okay, distance time graph for an object moving with a uniform speed. You know what is mean by uniform speed? When an object is in uniform speed, it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay, for an object in uniform speed, that object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay, then how we can draw the distance time graph for an object in uniform speed? The same as above, we have two axes. One is the x-axis and one is the y-axis. Here also along the x-axis time in second there, and along the y-axis distance in meter. Okay, here we can represent as origin. Okay, and here we can represent as 2 seconds, then 4 seconds, then 6 seconds and then 8 seconds. Okay, here also we can represent 2 meter, then 4 meter, then 6 meter, like that. Okay, and here and at the time 0 second its position is at the origin, then after 2 seconds it is at 2 meter, then after 4 seconds again 4 meter, then 6 seconds it moves to 6 meter, then here it is 8 meter, because that object covers, for every 2 seconds that object covers a distance of 2 meter. Okay, so we can join all these points. So we got a straight line. Okay, we got a straight line. This is the distance time graph for an object with a uniform speed. Distance time graph for an object with a uniform speed. Okay, then what is the nature of this graph? Actually it is a straight line but not parallel to the time axis as earlier. Okay, it is a straight line which makes some angle with the time axis. Okay, what is the nature of distance time graph for an object moving with a uniform speed? It is a straight line. Okay, and makes an angle with the x-axis or the time axis. Okay, and here then what is the significance of this distance time graph? Using distance time graph we can calculate the speed of an object. Using distance time graph we can calculate the speed of an object. That is the importance of this distance time graph. Then how we can calculate the speed of an object using this distance time graph? Okay, from the graph drawn here we can calculate the speed of an object. Okay, for that we are considering 2 points on the graph, A and suppose it is A and B. We can consider 2 points on the graph, let it be A and B. Okay, then we can draw perpendiculars towards the x and y axis. Okay, from A we can draw like this, and from B we can draw another perpendicular. Then here from A towards y axis also we can draw on perpendicular, and here we can draw it like this. Okay, so we got a triangle here ABC. We got a triangle here ABC. Okay, and here corresponding to the point A we can represent the time here as T1, and corresponding to the point B here we can represent the time as T2. Similarly, here along the y-axis corresponding to the point A we can represent the distance as S1, and corresponding to the point B here the distance is represented as S2. Okay, and here when the object moves from A to B, when the object moves from A to B, it covers a distance of this much from S1 to S2. So what is this distance? It is S2 minus S1. Okay, when the object moves from A to B, that object covers a distance of S2 minus S1 during the time T2 minus T1. Okay, here when the object moves from A to B, that object covers a distance of S2 minus S1 during the time interval T2 minus T1. So here the distance is known and also the time interval is given. So the speed, you know the equation for speed. Speed is equal to distance by time, and here the distance is S2 minus S1 and the time is T2 minus T1. So the speed we can be represented as S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. Okay, that is using distance time graph we can calculate the speed of an object. Okay, then what is the nature of distance time graph for an object in uniform speed? It is a inclined straight line, or it is a straight line which makes an angle with the time axis. Okay, then what is the significance of this distance time graph? Using distance time graph we can calculate the speed of an object. Using distance time graph we can calculate the speed. Okay, then how we can calculate the speed of an object using the distance time graph? For that we are considering 2 points on the graph, let it be A and B. Then draw perpendiculars towards the x and y axis. Okay, that is represented as in the x axis it is represented as T1 and T2, and in the y axis it is represented as S1 and S2. Then when the object moves from A to B, it covers the distance of S2 minus S1 during the time interval T2 minus T1. So we can represent the speed as distance divided by time. Here the distance is S2 minus S1 and the time interval is T2 minus T1. So the distance can be represented as V is equal to S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. Okay. The next is that is the distance time graph of an object in uniform speed. But the next is distance time graph for an object in non-uniform speed. Okay, distance time graph for an object in non-uniform speed. You know what is mean by non-uniform speed? That object does not covers what? Equal distances in equal intervals of time. That means that object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Then the object moves with a non-uniform speed. Then how we can draw the or how we can represent the distance time graph for an object in non-uniform speed. Okay. Here x-axis, y-axis, then time in second, and here also distance in meter. Okay. Non-uniform speed means that object does not cover equal distances in equal intervals of time. So we does not get, actually it is not a straight line. We will get a curve. Okay, we will get a curve like this. It is not a, instead of getting straight line, actually we will get a curve. Okay, this is the representation of distance time graph for an object in moves with a non-uniform speed. Okay, what is the nature of distance time graph for an object in non-uniform speed? It is a curve. What is its nature? It is a curve. Okay, that is about the distance time graph for an object. Okay. Okay, next about the velocity time graph. Okay, velocity time graph. Then what is mean by velocity time graph? Actually it represents the variation of velocity of a moving object with the time. Okay, a graph showing the variation of velocity of a moving object with the time. That is called the velocity time graph. Okay, like distance time graph, this velocity time graph can be studied under different conditions. Okay, the velocity time graph can be studied under different conditions. And the first is an object in uniform motion or moves with a uniform velocity. Okay. Okay. What is mean by uniform motion? Its velocity remains constant. When an object in uniform motion, the velocity remains a constant. Then how we can draw the velocity time graph for an object in uniform motion? Okay. Here also we need two axes. Okay. One is the horizontal axis, that is x-axis, and another is the y-axis. Here time in second, that is represented along the x-axis, and here velocity. All of you know the unit of velocity. It is meter per second, that is represented along the y-axis. Okay, and here O is the origin. Okay, and here from the origin, suppose the object moves with a velocity of 5 meters per second. Okay, as the time passes, it moves with a constant velocity, that is always in 5 meters per second. Okay, so we got a straight line. So we got a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, then what is the nature of velocity time graph for an object in uniform motion? It is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, it is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Then what is the importance of this velocity time graph? Using velocity time graph, we can calculate the distance travelled or magnitude of displacement. Okay, that is the significance of velocity time graph. Then what is the significance of distance time graph? Using distance time graph, we calculated the speed. Okay, using distance time graph, we calculated the speed, and here using velocity time graph, we can calculate the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. Okay, and here we can represent 2 points A and B. Then we can draw perpendiculars towards the x-axis, and it is okay, and it is represented as T1 and T2. Okay, it is represented as this perpendiculars meets the x-axis at T1 and T2. Okay, then you know the magnitude of displacement or distance, that is equal to velocity into time. Okay, velocity into time. Okay, here it is we can mark it as C, and here it is B. Okay, and the velocity is represented by the height AC, that is AC into, and time is represented by the height CD. Okay, here AC into CD. Actually, it is the area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle ABDC. Okay, so here the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement, that is equal to the area under the velocity time graph, this shaded portion, area under the velocity time graph. Okay, so here the area under the velocity time graph gives the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. Okay, and for that we are considering 2 points on the graph A and B and draw perpendiculars towards the time axis. Okay, then we can mark it as ABDC. Okay, you know the distance or the magnitude of displacement, that is equal to velocity into time. Here the velocity is represented by the height AC and the time is represented by the portion CD. So we got AC into CD. Actually AC into CD, that will gives the area of the rectangle ABDC. So we can say the area under the velocity time graph, that is equal to what? The distance or the magnitude of displacement. Okay, so how we can calculate the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement using the velocity time graph? That is how we can calculate. Here the area under the, first we have to calculate the area under the velocity time graph, that is equal to the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. Okay, that is about the velocity time graph for an object in uniform motion. Okay, here what is its nature? Actually it is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, it is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay, the next is velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. Okay, velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. Here also x-axis, y-axis, then origin, then time in second. Here also velocity in meter per second. You know, a uniform acceleration means the velocity, that the change in velocity is equal in equal intervals of time. But an object in uniform accelerated motion, its velocity changes by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. So we got a straight line. Here also a straight line, but it makes some angle with the time axis. Okay, this is the velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. Velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. It is a straight line making some angle with the time axis. Okay, here also we can calculate what the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. For that we are considering 2 points on the graph A and B, and we can draw perpendiculars towards the x and y axis. Okay, and here we get a triangle ABC, then we can represent a D and a E. Okay, and here this shaded portion, that will gives the area, that is the area under the velocity time graph. Then how we can calculate the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement using this velocity time graph? Here the distance, that is equal to, here the area under the velocity time graph, that includes area under the velocity time graph means it is A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. That is actually the area under the velocity time graph. Actually that includes a triangle and a rectangle. Okay, triangle, that is triangle ABC and the rectangle ACDE. So the total area is the sum of the area of triangle plus rectangle. So we can write the distance travelled is equal to area of triangle plus area of rectangle. Okay, area of triangle plus area of rectangle, that is equal to, here it is a right angled triangle. You know the area of right angled triangle, it is actually half BH. area of the right angle triangle is half BH, half into base into height. So we can write half into AC into height is BC plus area of the rectangle, length into this breadth. So AE into ED. Okay, that is equal to the distance travelled. That is equal to the distance travelled. Okay, this is the graphical representation of velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. What is its nature? It is a straight line, inclined straight line, or a straight line making some angle with the x-axis. Okay, then using this velocity time graph, we can calculate the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. Then how we can calculate the distance travelled or magnitude of displacement? For that we are considering 2 points on the graph A and B. Then draw perpendiculars towards the x and y axis. So we got on a triangle and a rectangle here. Okay, all of us know the area under the velocity time graph is equal to the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. And here the area that includes a triangle and a rectangle. So the total area is area of the triangle plus area of the rectangle. So we can write here the area of the triangle. Actually it is a right angle triangle. You know the area of a right angle triangle, it is half BH, that is half into base into height. So half into base, here it is AC, height is BC plus area of the rectangle, it is AE into ED. Actually that is equal to the distance travelled or the magnitude of displacement. Okay, the next is velocity time graph for non-uniform acceleration. Okay, velocity time graph for non-uniform acceleration. Non-uniform acceleration. Okay, what is its nature? Here it is time in second. Then velocity in meter per second. Okay. Actually, when an object in non-uniform motion, the velocity time graph can have any shape. We can draw about any shape. Okay, we can draw any shape. Okay, this is the velocity time graph for an object in non-uniform acceleration. It can have any shape. Okay. The next is the velocity time graph for an object whose velocity is decreasing. Velocity is decreasing with the time. Velocity decreases with the time. How the velocity time graph looks? Time in second here also, velocity in meter per second. Okay, here as time passes his velocity is decreasing. So we can represent the decreasing velocity like this. Okay, the velocity is going to be decreasing. The velocity decreases with the velocity decreases with the time. The velocity is decreasing with the time. Okay, that is the velocity time graph for an object whose velocity decreases with the time. Okay, that is about the velocity time graph for an object in different conditions. First we studied velocity time graph for an object in uniform motion. Actually, what is its nature? It is a straight line parallel to the time axis. The next, velocity time graph for an object in uniform acceleration. It is an inclined straight line. The next is velocity time graph for an object in non-uniform acceleration, and it have any shape. It can have any shape. Then the velocity time graph for an object whose velocity decreases with the time. The graph looks like this. Okay, that is about the graphical representation of motion. Okay. Okay, that is the end of today's class. Thank you, children.